Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will discuss some sexy ass interesting book about interesting things, and this one about problem solving. So let's get something straight right away. Most people don't actually solve problems, they rush them or romanticize them or drown them in Google tabs like that's going to magically produce wisdom. This book, which I'm referring to, which is called Problem Solver by Cheryl Strauss, quietly walks into the room and says, "Hey, bro, relax. Your brain is not broken. It's just predictable. You're not dumb. You're predictable." Okay, and that's where it gets uncomfortable and useful. Like the core idea is simple, but sneaky. Everyone of us has a default way of deciding, not like the way we say we decide, the way we actually do when the clock is ticking and the stakes are real. And some people, charge forward on instinct, some obsess over data, and some ask everyone in the room for opinions. Some overthink every possible outcomes, and some fall in love, with like a big ideas before reality has even had coffee. And this book has brutal insight in this. Your biggest strength is also the trap that gets you killed in slow motion. And if you're fast and confident, you skip research. If you're analytical, you freeze. If you're collaborative, you outsource responsibility. If you're visionary, you ignore boring but fatal details. Congratulations, you're human. So, what this author does differently, and this is where the book earns its keep, is she doesn't stop at labeling you. She gives you a method, which is called like acronym AREA, like AREA, that forces you to slow down without turning you into a monk. First, A stands for absolute data, not opinions, not summaries, not like my friend said, raw, like unfiltered facts, the assignment text, the rules, the source, the terrain, and most like a bad decisions die right here because people skip this step and wonder later why everything collapsed. Then it's about like relative perspective. You deliberately look at the problem through like other people's lenses, not because they're smarter, but because they're biased differently. This alone saves you from 70% of like a stupid mistakes if you actually do it. Then come the fun part, exploration and like versus exploitation. Translation, know when to brainstorm and know when to shut up and execute. And like most people confuse motion with like a progress and stay so-called thinking forever. This step puts a timer on curiosity. And finally, analysis, not vibes, not confidence, synthesis. You decide knowing exactly why this path beats the others and what could still go wrong. And what I love about this book is that it does not sell you hero thinking, it sells you control thinking. The kind professionals use when failure is expensive and confidence alone won't save you. And there's even a quiet intelligence community lesson baked in here. Never trust a single way of seeing the world, especially your own. That's called if you're running as like in types of businesses, because most disasters don't come from lack of intelligence. They come from overusing the same mental move that worked last time. In other words, you have to be adaptive. You have to change your way of doing things based on new information. So no, you don't need, like, so-called to think harder. You need to think differently on purpose. And once you see your own pattern, you can't unsee it. In other words, you gotta find your own blind spot, which is both annoying and incredibly powerful.